city streets, economic turmoil as coronavirus alters daily life in the United States. The country is on war against COVID-19. DC's most iconic site, the Washington Monument, is closed. Good evening, everyone. I know the virus has spread rapidly, and the US leads the world in number of confirmed cases. The country is like at wartime. And I would like to invite my friends who currently work and live in the United States to join us today to share their thought and experience amid the COVID-19. So keep on watching. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kathy McNeil-Hollinger.
And I'm Mark Hollinger. We live in Washington, D.C.
COVID-19, I think the most challenging thing and how it's so different from any other experience we've been through is that it's invisible. So having an invisible threat is particularly frightening. And that has certainly ramped up fear in the U.S.
Washington, D.C. residents had been encouraged to work from home and stay at home for a couple of weeks. However, as the coronavirus explodes in numbers across America with more than 180,000 cases from coast to coast and more than 3,800 deaths, Washington, D.C. and many other states are officially under lockdown order. The lockdown forced non-essential businesses to shut down and instruct residents to leave home only for essential activities such as food, medicine, caring for family, and limited forms of outdoor exercise. The lockdown takes a toll on businesses, particularly small businesses.
Non-essential shops, bookstores, clothing stores, those are all shut. And so if they don't have an online presence, then they have no revenue at this point. DC has a lot of other types of services, lawyers, consulting firms, lobbyists. Those people are all working from home. I have to imagine that their business is largely on hold. So I think everybody is suffering. And one of the big long-term impacts of this is going to be the economic impact as much as the health impact.
Many businesses are obviously in distress. However, they came up with many ideas to cope with the difficult time.
All the delivery companies have figured ways of doing it sort of contactless. They're taking your credit cards over the phone. The delivery people will simply drop the groceries or the food off on your front porch. If you go to the restaurant, they don't have you go in. You come out, or they come out to the front door with your delivery. So they've kind of accommodated that well. I actually came across one of our local markets yesterday that was using a robotic delivery technology. They had four of them parked out front. So it's probably a great moment for that company to get people used to robotic deliveries.
United States coronavirus outbreak, accounting for more than half of the country's confirmed cases and 1/3 of its virus-connected deaths. Our reporter from New York City will tell us how the situation there.
Hi, IFO News. This is Malika, and I'm from New York City in the United States. So I'm giving you all an update of what's been going on with the coronavirus outbreak out here in New York City. So they're telling us to do social distancing, which means that people need to be 6 feet apart from each other. You can't have visits, you can't have people coming over your house, unless people are already living together. That's a different thing. And this is New York City, so everybody likes to travel and meet up with friends. And I'm in Brooklyn, and I can't even go to Manhattan right now because that means you'd have to take the train, which is like a big no-no. So they have everything shut down, all essential businesses. The only things that are open are like the grocery stores and like the pharmacies and things like that. And it's hard to buy things because everything is being sold out, and it's a long wait for everything. But as New Yorkers, we are always resilient, and I'm sure that we'll do this and things are going to get better. So thank you for letting me be a part of this, and I am Malika, and thank you IFO News for letting me do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dương, and also updates from Mark, Kathy, Michaela, all the way from New York. The situation in Italy is not better than the US at all. Italy is one of the epicenters of coronavirus pandemic. There have been more than 11,000 deaths in Italy, more than China and Spain combined, and many times more than United States. The toll show a little sign of slowing despite 16 days of lockdown. Italy has been the world's worst hit country amid this COVID-19 crisis, and for them this is a long and tough battle. So let's connect with our reporter in Sicily, Italy, to see how she has been doing and how the situation there.
Hello viewers of IFO News in Vietnam. This is Lara Parlato, and I'm speaking from Catania in Sicily in Italy. So I just wanted to show you the empty streets here because, and this is a work day, but our government provides us to stay home and work from our houses. Here in Sicily you can't even go out for a walk or for a run, but in other cities, in other regions, you can go out for a run, but only around your building, so in your block. So we can't even, like, the key of the law is that we have to stay home. Doctors are telling that every day because they're exhausted, they're really tired because they're working so much. Hospitals are full of people, and we actually just built a hospital in 10 days because our hospital weren't enough. In order to make sure people respect these rules, the police, but not only the police, also the army, are going through the cities and ask people the reason they're out, and if it's not an essential reason, they get fined. So thousands of people got fined because at first people didn't really take it serious. So this was Lara Parlato from Sicily. I'm the Italian correspondent for IFO News, and this was all. Thank you.
The COVID-19 outbreak has become the worst nightmare and worst health crisis in a generation for both the US and Italy and many countries around the world. However, just a couple days ago, President Trump made such a grand statement declaring the relaxation of coronavirus guidelines by Easter despite health warnings.
Ultimately, the goal is to ease the guidelines and open things up to very large sections of our country as we near the end of our historic battle with the invisible enemy. It'll go on for a while, but we win. We win. I said earlier today that I hope we can do this by Easter. I think that would be a great thing for our country, and we're all working very hard to make that a reality.
Isn't it crazy? The president said that he believed a crippled economy and forced social isolation would inflict more harm than the spread of the virus, but swiftly removed the severe health restrictions imposed to fight the coronavirus actually can make the outbreak become worse, as more cases will be confirmed, which means more burden on hospitals, which also backfire the economy because of so many sick people. Until now, there's no measure that are proved to be more effective than social distancing. In fact, an article on New York Times reported that the coronavirus slowed down in Seattle, which suggests restrictions are working. And I bet that after facing grim figures of confirmed cases and death toll, on last Sunday, President Trump agreed to extend the social distancing guidelines through the end of April.
bad things can get. So strict social distancing need to be taken very seriously and even aggressively, because you need to remember no one is immune to this virus. So many high-profile people around the world have been tested for the COVID-19, from the world leader Boris Johnson to even royal family member Prince Charles. And in Vietnam, social distancing order has been pushed to another level. On Tuesday, the Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc stated that Vietnam will begin 50 days of social distancing from Wednesday to curb community transmission of the coronavirus. More than people gathering outside offices, schools, and hospitals and public places will be forbidden. And I think this is indeed necessary order during this time, because we are starting to experience community transmission of COVID-19, as Hanoi's Bạch Mai Hospital recently has been a major COVID-19 outbreak area.
I know that locking down an important hospital is hard. There are thousands of people are trapped inside, including doctors, nurses, and other staffs who cannot go outside to purchase even the most basic things like toothbrushes and toothpaste, because it is difficult for any order or any deliveries to get through the checkpoint at the hospitals. But we are in this all together. The whole world are in this together. There are critical shortages of testing kits and key equipment needed to care for critically ill patients, including ventilators and personal protective equipment for medical staff. Many frontline doctors and nurses have caught the coronavirus. We need to help doctors, nurses, and medical personnel to mitigate the virus by staying home and donating.
I want people to know that this is bad. People are dying. We don't have the tools that we need in the emergency department and in the hospital to take care of them. And it's really hard.
So that is IFO News. And one more thing I want you guys to remember is that staying home is the key to have flattened the curve. And I think it's also the time for us to flag ourselves. I see a lot of people are using art to express their joy. I see a lot of my friends start to play TikTok with their siblings or even their parents. I got addicted to, flying videos. What song? I forget. And I myself is keeping entertained at home with Google Chrome 3D AR animals. And I think this is the best time for all of us to be the best version of ourselves. So remember to stay home and stay safe. Bye. Hello, cutie. Oh, you're so cute.
Hey, do you want some drink? Hey, look at me. Do you know what song to chill because I'm so sad?